Alrighty.
We are live. We're waiting for people to roll.
We are. We are. We already have the Celtics starting lineup, so I'll type that in the chat preemptively here. But we are live and ready to go. Sam, this is your biggest game of the year.
Well, I like the home game better, but
I understand.
it's one of the
I was
two.
at the home game last year. I was at the Celtics.
I know. I'm jealous. I've never been.
It was hype. It was very fun. I was very happy. It's very cool.
So we wait for everyone to trickle in here. Jeez.
Yes, sir.
There we go. We go. Is it you?
It takes a second. No, it's not me. It takes a second though.
All right. Well, good.
Just give it a couple minutes, but there we go. There we go. But yeah, Celtics Lakers tonight. Obviously, the other LA game didn't really go according to plan. I can imagine you're not too happy with their performance.
Yeah, I was just thrilled to sacrifice sleep for nothing.
Of course.
That's my favorite. I love when I stay up late and then they just like lay an egg. They're like, you know what? We're not going to do anything today. We're going to play horrible. We're going to chuck a bunch of threes and you're going to sit there and watch it because of course you will. What else are you going to do with yourself? I mean, it's really all you live for. So here we are. It's the second night of a back-to-back. The Celtics are without a big man. They're in LA to play the Lakers in a very big game to a lot of people, including me.
Yeah, Celtics Lakers tonight. Celtics obviously down. Al Horford in addition to Robert Williams, but he's been out all season. I'm still banking on he'll be back for the first Orlando game. That's still my guess. That's been my guess. I am on the record saying that, so we'll see if I'm correct. But right now, all the Celtics can hope to do is not get blown out as they have in the past two games. Celtics coming off a 2-game loss streak, just their second 2-game loss streak of the season. Lost back-to-back games on their West Coast road trip to the Warriors and the Clippers. Last night was the L to the Clippers by, I believe, 20 points on the dot. 113-193, I think was the final score. It was the first time all season that the Celtics did not score 100 points in a game. And it kind of reflects how poorly their offense was, or played, I should say. In that game, Jayson Tatum didn't come to play. Their shooters didn't come to play. It was just a rough night all around for the Celtics. It was tough. It was tough to watch.
Yeah, they got nothing from anybody, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was just mediocre all around. There was nothing to get excited about. They played okay for the first half. For most of the second quarter, they were in it, and then they just crapped themselves at the end of the second. It was never close again. It was just a whole lot of threes, a whole lot of turnovers, a whole lot of nervousness. It really looked like the absolute worst case scenario following a game like Saturday's in Golden State, where you were shook by the defending champs that beat you in the finals. You looked scared, and it carried over to play against a Clippers team that is, no slouch either, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kawhi, Paul George, both quality wings, a duo that is often compared to Tatum and Brown in terms of the older version of those two guys, and they outplayed him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Kawhi had his best game of the season. You let Clay have his best game of the season on Saturday. Who's going to have their best game of the season tonight? Who do you think? Is it going to be Russ?
Might be LeBron.
Fantastic game.
Might be LeBron. Anthony Davis has slowly been taking the reins. It could be a LeBron coming out party. Hello, Landon, in the chat. How we doing, everybody? Yeah, man. I don't know. The Clippers game was not a fun one to watch. As someone covering the Celtics, neither was the Warriors game. It was just a bad look, and it has a lot of people, a lot of fans spiraling. I think it's easy to forget about the first 25 games of the season when 2 in a row go so poorly, or 26, I should say. But I mean, you got people saying this isn't working, that isn't working. The Celtics were frauds. It was a fluke. And it's like, can 25 games be a fluke? Like, maybe they're not going to shoot 50% from 3 for the rest of the season, but to say that there's like the offense was, it was just a flash in the pan, like that's way too big a sample size for that. The more realistic thing is the Celtics are just in a slump, right? They weren't going to win, 79 games this season. They weren't going to win out. That was never going to happen. They were bound to lose a couple in a row. And hell, I wouldn't, I would bet on the fact that the Celtics probably lose 3 games in a row at some point this season, right? I don't know if it'll be today. I hope it's not today. But if you're a betting man, you got to bet on the fact that they'll probably lose 3 in a row at some point. And if they don't, then they're one of the best teams in the past decade, right? Like that's unheard of. Very few teams don't lose 3 games in a row at some point throughout the season. And so, losing streaks happen. The chat finally warming up. Evan, hello, hello. West Coast could be playing a role. John says, I agree. They're on the West Coast. That's another thing. And I don't know until it's, 5-game skid, even if it's a 3-game skid tonight, maybe you get a little concerned, but they weren't going to win out. I think the more concerning things is the way they're losing, because you're getting kind of flashbacks of how last season started. Jimmy J saying Tatum has been the main problem, but you guys know my gripe. Jimmy J has it out for Mr. Marcus Smart.
I think it's fair to pass the blame all around, really. I don't think Tatum has been very good over these last 2 games, me and everybody else, right? And the box scores, right? In everyone's eyes. But it's really tough for a team that's relied on a player playing at an MVP level to be without that player playing at that level, and instead having to still try and play through him when he doesn't have it, right? Because you're seeing Tatum still put up numbers. He had a double-double against the Clippers, 20 and 11. For the average Joe in the NBA, that's a pretty solid game. But when you look at the numbers, it's 7 of 20 shooting, 2 of 8 from 3. It's a lot of misses, a lot of like bad possessions, bad decisions, forced things. And he just looks uncomfortable out there. This is a game where it's a get-right game. Yesterday should have been a get-right game, and it wasn't. This is a massive game. You're playing against a middling Lakers team that has been on the up and up. Davis has been playing a great couple of games, great couple of weeks, right? Really putting up some numbers. And you're without your 2 best centers, both starters traditionally. And you have to play against this guy. This is a huge spot for Jayson Tatum. He's going to probably see some time guarding Anthony Davis. I don't know if they're going to rely on Blake Griffin to do it. You're going to need him to, at the very least, hit the glass. And he's going to have to score, man. You need to get something out of this guy today. It's been brutal.
Yes.
Nobody I think I like watching less than a bad Jayson Tatum. It's so frustrating to watch.
You remember what I called him 2 years ago?
What'd you call him?
I called him Rich Man's Marcus Morris a couple years ago when he was struggling.
That's what I thought. I wasn't positive. Marcus Morris, who outplayed him yesterday.
Yes, who did. Obviously, an exaggeration, but checking in on chat. Hello, Lupe. Hello, everybody. Jimmy Day saying he's more upset with D. White. D. White's been slumping. The shot hasn't been there. I'll be the first to admit it. Obviously, I think he does other stuff. He plays solid defense. He play makes well. He gets to the basket really well. I think he gets to the basket better than... I mean, him and Brogdon are pretty close, and Smart's up there too. But Derek White getting to the basket is, it's money. And Celtics, I'm, obviously not blaming the refs, and you can't blame them. They'd be getting a tough whistle, but they got to fight through it. They can't be complaining. I mean, we all saw the backcourt violation that wasn't called, and Grant Williams ignored the play and started complaining instead of guarding. So that is brutal as well. Landon saying last 2 games were versus contenders with wing defenders, haven't played that level of competition. I agree with you for the most part, but I mean, the Warriors didn't really have the same level as the Clippers. Andrew Wiggins was out. It was like
they literally didn't have their guy.
Klay Thompson played well on defense, so you give him that credit. John saying he wants to see the Celtics play hard tonight. I think we all do. I think Tatum will be good, but maybe still lose. We'll see. Jimmy J, ever the optimist over there.
They better not lose.
I got really confused
as I try and get my volume back.
Lakers are different, not the last 2 teams. Lakers have been solid lately, though. Anthony Davis is playing like an MVP. If he was on a winning team, he'd be right in that race. He's been phenomenal. Warriors got like 7 technical fouls right now. I didn't know that, but that's tough. Lupe saying, mocking all the naysayers. Respect. 2 contenders with depth is I'll give you the Clippers again, but the Warriors' depth has been terrible this season. Their bench is the worst in the league by far this year by the stats. Their plus minus is, I think, the worst in the league, and they're great at home, so I'll concede on that, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. It's been a tough couple of games here. This is a big game. This is a big game for both sides. Both fans get up for this game. Regardless of what the status of each team is, it's always a big one. I think Lamar Odom had a really great...
Did you type this in the chat?
I did type this. Lamar Odom had a really great quote when he was asked about this kind of rivalry. And I don't know if you saw it, Jack. He basically said, if you're in the Lakers locker room and you're either a fan of the team or you're playing for the team, seeing the Celtics be at the top of the league should do something for you, should motivate you, make you want to play better. And I think you're going to see that tonight. The question is, will you see that from the Celtics? Will they get up for it? Will they say, this is a big game to us because of our history. It's a big game to our fans because it's obviously a big time rivalry. And it's not to mention they're staying up late and sacrificing sleep, and we screwed them yesterday.
Of course.
But it's a huge game, man. Come on. You gotta give us something. We're all sitting here up late. At least they're not wearing the home whites on the road again. I'll tell you what, they will not wear them at home. But the 3 games in a row on the road, you get them. I couldn't tell you the last time they wore them 3 times in a row at home.
Well,
not the playoffs.
Never mind. I was gonna say I don't blame them completely because home team gets to pick what jersey they wear for the most part. I'm pretty sure.
The other teams are wearing green.
Yes, I understand that, but what is it tonight? They're wearing their city edition tonight, right? The Bill Russell unions?
Fine. You're on the road. I don't care. Wear it.
Yeah, sure. Lakers starting 5 is out. It is, Schroeder, Pat Bev, Lonnie Walker, LeBron, and Anthony Davis. Jimmy J said it, no answer for AD. I don't know if the Celtics will have one tonight. Like you said, Tatum's going to have to be on the glass, but this could be an Anthony Davis 30 bomb, and they got to control what's around him. Tiffany saying stay positive. I agree. No time to panic.
You want positivity? Here you go. Here's some good news. Lakers, 28th in the NBA in three-point shooting percentage, 28th in the NBA in threes taken. That means you're able to put a little bit of extra attention on Anthony Davis. The problem is, right, they take the 28th, let's see, there's second the least amount of threes. So they're going to be attacking you at the rim, and you don't have anybody there waiting for them. So it can become a very frustrating game very quickly, or, right, you're able to use that to your benefit. Maybe you protect the rim well. It sucks that you don't have either your big guys, but at least you're not going to get lit up from 3 like you did on Saturday. And I believe, the Clippers had a pretty good 3-point shooting game yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. I went to bed early. I said, no, I'm not doing this. At the end of the third quarter, I called it a day.
I called it, I think, with around 3 minutes left in the fourth. I watched.
Well, the difference is you stay up all night.
I haven't lately. I've been better. It's been better. I woke up at like normal time today. So
right, there you go.
We're getting there. I think they will play better at home. I agree. I think the Celtics most teams are always better at home. Especially the Warriors. It was all Austin Reeves. John saying to watch out for Austin this year. Keep an eye out. The Lakers have been better shooting the 3, I believe, as of late. They've overcome their slump to start the season a little bit. Russell Westbrook has been much better off the bench than he was in the starting lineup at the start of the season. So there's that. Landon saying Celtics, of course, missed a ton of shots, but the level of competition was high the last 2 games. Yeah. 100%. And I think you're going to see a similar thing from the Lakers tonight. I mean, Marcus Smart said it earlier this season. The Celtics have a target on their back. They're the best team in the league. And for a while, it wasn't really close. You can make the argument that it still isn't close. The Bucks are right on their tail at this point, but teams want to beat the Celtics, the Warriors and the Lakers, especially, and even the Clippers. I mean, the Clippers were red hot yesterday against the Celtics. They weren't missing. And, even when the Celtics were playing solid defense, they would still hit. It just seemed like everything was going the Clippers' way, at the very least. Joe Mazzulla's wife even tweeted out asking for some refs to not be on the crew when they play the Celtics, which was funny. But
dude, it's been 2 games of that where it felt like nothing has gone their way. And I'm not talking about the refs. Like that Golden State game, it felt like every single bounce went their way. Every offensive rebound, it went right to them, was short off the front rim instead of bouncing over. Like the Clippers game, they couldn't catch a break. It's just so sickening watching this happen to your team. Not that they played great. They weren't in either of the games. More the Golden State game than the Clippers game. I mean, that one was somewhat close, at least. But last night's game was just a disaster.
It was brutal.
That end of the third quarter was such a kick in the balls. They had it to what? 8? 6?
Not single digits, yeah.
Yeah, they had cut it down. They were starting to play a little bit better, getting inside a bit more. Everything's been difficult for them. All the shots they've taken have been hard. The threes have been open, but anything besides that hasn't been easy. And they're not making the threes, so teams can just sit back.
Lupe asking his emails why. I don't think so. I don't think she's a Celtics fan anymore. Warriors are getting bent over by the Bucks. Warriors are terrible on the road. Yeah. Exactly. If/when they lose tonight, they will be 2-12 on the road this season. So there's your example of better at home, not great on the road. Rockets beating the Suns. I saw a tweet saying that the Suns are maybe a little bit too interested in Victor Wembanyama as of late. They have lost 4 in a row. And if they lose tonight, it will be 5 in a row. So maybe the Celtics had some part in their downturn. Unfortunate. I misunderstood. Yes, Joe Mazzulla's wife said something about the refs, not Ime Udoka's. Landon agreeing there.
He said I misunderstood. I didn't know what he was talking about for a second.
The coach, the tweet thing. If we lose, we're tied with the Bucks, says John in the chat. Yeah. If the Celtics lose tonight and the Bucks win, they will be tied atop the Eastern Conference. Like I said, it seems like no one's close to the Celtics except for the Bucks. That's the one team that's right on their tail. What are you gonna say?
This is as close to a must-win game as you get in December.
Okay, I buy it. I back you there.
This is a huge game for you. It's a huge game for the other team. They are trying to claw their way back, or not back. They never were up. Claw their way up the standings in the West, which is very tight right now, and they seem like they're finding their footing over there. And you're trying to recover from a tailspin. You've lost 2 straight, only done that once this season, and they were both horrible losses. At least when you lost to the Cavs this year, that was a close game, went to overtime. You didn't have a prayer in either of these games, it felt like. You got to be better. This is a huge game. It's a huge game. I don't need to see Lakers fans happy after this. I'm staying up late. Win. It's on national TV. Win. These guys are bums. Bunch of rats over there. You have LeBron, the biggest baby in all the land. You have Davis. Him and his dad are a bunch of whiny pricks. Westbrook, who sucks, even though he's been better off the bench, he still sucks. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
Matt Ryan. The story. You cut him.
They did cut the story. Jimmy J is right. Nets creeping, he says. A lot of the Eastern Conference is creeping up there. You got the Celtics, Bucks. Celtics, Bucks, Cavs are still 1, 2, 3. But right after that, you got the Nets have won 4 in a row. The Sixers have won 3 in a row. And the Knicks have won 4 in a row as well. Like, the East is no longer the Celtics above everybody else. I'm just saying, teams are starting to win games. Celtics are not going to cruise atop the Eastern Conference for the whole year. They have to stay consistent, and they haven't been the last 2 games. So they've got to bring it back. They got to bring it back. I'm just glad we aren't saying Celtics are world beaters because we beat up teams with 1 star. Second round out. Yeah. Celtics are not world beaters. They are a great team. They're a title contender, but they have to keep up the pace. I'll say it now, since we're about 2/3 of the way through the show, or a little over half, I should say. If you're watching on God Boston Sports, which actually is only 5 of you today, most of you are in How About Them Celtics, because you know how it goes. We are no longer going to be streaming on Guy Boston Sports starting in January. So if you enjoy the pregame shows, make sure to jump on over to the How About Them Celtics YouTube channel. We drop the podcast from the main name, so you see it, How About Them Celtics, on the front page. It's just that easier for me to sell in these spiels. So How About Them Celtics on YouTube? Subscribe there for these pregame shows moving forward, and podcasts as well. Of course not, because I don't remember.
See, I forgot to ask you too. That's on me. I thought of it today and I didn't ask.
Yeah, I just don't remember throughout the day. I'll put it in the chat though for those of you watching. If you are watching on God Boston Sports or anywhere else, and you like us, you like the pregame shows, you like the podcast, I'll drop a link to the How About the Celtics YouTube channel in the chat for you guys to jump over to. If you enjoy the pregame shows, obviously, if you're watching on Facebook or Guy Boston Sports, make sure to watch on here. We'll be on Facebook and the How About Them Celtics YouTube and Facebook forever. But starting in January, we are no longer on Guy Boston Sports. So make sure to jump on over there if you do enjoy the pregame shows. Link is now in the chat. Appreciate you, Matt. Thank you very much. Sub like Matt. Be like Matt. Cool guy, Matt.
Dude, we have been getting all kinds. We must have got 30 subs in the last month.
More than that. I can tell you exactly how many subs we've gotten in the last month.
Very big thank you to anyone.
A moment of support, exactly.
As much as I like to be a dick on here, we really appreciate it. We have a lot of fun doing the shows. And
over the last,
are in the chat.
See, Lupe doesn't even know. We stream on Guy Boston Sports as well, but you're just a How About Them Celtics loyalist, so we appreciate you. That's the other channel we stream on. But like I said, 2023 just on How About Them Celtics. In the last 28 days, we've gained 46 subscribers. So big shout out to you guys in the chat. We appreciate the support as always. I will also say, Sam and I are planning. One sec. One more promo. One more promo.
Come on,
pick one. I'm doing it. If you guys enjoy us and you enjoy the podcast and you enjoy the pregame shows, we are planning to do 1 or 2 live shows a week. I think we're going to start jumping on here more often instead of just pregame. I need to talk about Sam for scheduling, but we can figure it out. We've got plans, very loose plans right now. You're good, Jonathan. That was on our end. Loose plans to stream twice a week on either Sunday or Monday, and then Wednesday or Thursday, I believe, are the days. Depending on when the Celtics plays, we don't want to stream. Uh,
Sorry.
You screamed. We don't want to stream on days when the Celtics plays. We want to come to you guys on off days so we can talk, chat Celtics with you guys. So we're planning to do 1 to 2 live streams a week. Just for the YouTube audience. I mean, some of them will go on the podcast feed, but mostly they'll just be live streams here for you guys, for us to connect on off days. So we'll get a more concrete schedule moving out forward. I think tentatively, potentially could do one on Thursday this week. Could be our first one if we're both free. We need to figure that out. Obviously, my schedule, Sam's schedule, but
We have a show this Thursday.
No, we don't. We have a show tomorrow.
We have a show tomorrow.
Yeah, we're recording tomorrow.
Are you sure? I thought they needed
Wednesday,
to push
December
back.
14th. Yes. We moved it. Remember, we had to reschedule with our guest. We're doing the guest on the 17th instead of the 14th. I think Sam froze as we were discussing guest podcast stuff. But yes, sorry, we'll catch back up in the chat. But I did welcome back, Sam. I was just telling you we rescheduled our guest to the 17th. If you do remember, we had to reschedule.
17th.
Yes, so we're recording by ourselves on the 14th, and we have a guest on the 17th. Which
Can we do the 15th?
Can we?
Well, actually, you know what? Never mind.
We'll talk about this off the
Afterwards.
show. Catching back up, like Landon said, hit the like button. Shane is here. Hello. Lupe, everyone's happy in the chat. We'll get back to Jonathan's question that we had to pass up for a sec. If the season ended next week, who would you want to play in the second round? If we were the 1 seed, the Nets, the Pacers. The Pacers. I don't think that's a very hard question for me personally. I don't know.
Yeah, is the Pope Catholic thing for me.
I'd rather play not Kevin Durant. I'll put it that way.
I agree with that. I no interest in playing him again. I mean, I like KD a lot. He's one of my favorite players. He's never played for the Celtics. I just think he's great to watch. Lethal score, mid-range is unbelievable. I mean, you just don't want to have to deal with that. You swept him last year. You were able to kind of key on him the whole time just because nobody else was giving him anything. Ben Simmons was sitting there dripped out on the sideline. He's not going to give him a whole lot right now, but he's still going to be out there playing defense. Kyrie is not suspended anymore either. So there you go.
Yeah, John saying Pacers got some players, though. They do. Tyrese Halliburton is an all-star this year, in my opinion. Miles Turner's having a career year. Buddy Hield's there. Ben Matherin's been great as a rookie. He's in the running for Rookie of the Year. But KD is still KD. He's been there. He's done it before. I kind of equate this Pacers team to last year's what am I thinking of? Pelicans team, kind of. Obviously, minus the veteran leadership. They don't have an Ingram or McCollum, but, that younger guys, Alvarado, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, like a young, hungry group just trying to get an itch of playoff basketball. I think the Pacers are getting on that border soon. And Jimmy J is right. There could be some, heavy hitters in those lower seeds. Bulls or Heat and Raptors, like all three of those guys could end up being 6, 7, 8, which is right in the range for the Celtics. And Aaron Nesmith is also on the Pacers. And Jimmy J saying Wizards could be a possibility too. Lots of season left. There's plenty of season. Celtics have to focus on staying atop the East. Nothing is a given, as we've seen these last 2 games where they've struggled. So we'll have to see what happens. What are you looking tonight against the Lakers for the Celtics to bounce back? I know obviously Anthony Davis could be a problem, but as much as the Clippers and Warriors have played well, which I think they have, I think a lot of it has been self-induced. I think the Celtics offense, they're kind of going back to this isolation ball where they're trading, Jaylen, Jayson. I think they need to avoid that. And then defense, they just need to stay connected. But the offense really has to get back into the flow because I think they've abandoned that a little the last 2 games.
I think they need to be more flexible on offense. We saw them chuck in these last 2 games, and it just didn't work. Some days you're not going to have it from 3. You're not going to be able to shoot 40% as a team for the whole season. It's pretty tough to do. That's a lot of guys that have to be pretty sharp shooters from the outside for it to work. You need to be able to get inside. Even against the Clippers yesterday, the shots they were getting that weren't threes were tough shots. Jaylen Brown had to make his own shot from the mid-range numerous times in that game, numerous times against the Warriors on Saturday where he was really the only great player. You need to just get them easier looks than that. Tatum's going to finish around the rim. He's been soft in there these last 2 games, and I think that's another reason why the team struggled because he's not getting inside. He's not getting to the line. That makes things more difficult on everybody else. More pressure on these guys to make shots. And I mean, obviously you need them to make shots. Derek White being an over 40% 3-point shooter for the season needs to be something you can rely on if he's going to be super useful like he has been. You can't have this inconsistency all around. The team as a whole just needs to be better. They've been really bad as we've seen these last 2 games. You're at the end of a West Coast trip, fine. Think about you're going to be home after this. This is the last one. So make it a good one.
I agree, and I think the Celtics have a real opportunity to end the road trip off strong, because you look at their schedule after the road trip. They've got, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's easier than the road trip. Celtics get home, they play Orlando twice, then Indiana, then Minnesota, and then you have that big game on Christmas against the Bucks. So if the Celtics can pull off a win, which would be a big one, obviously, Celtics-Lakers rivalry is always a thing. Pull out a big win against the Lakers, head back home feeling good, beat up on the Magic, beat up on the Pacers, beat up on the Timberwolves. That put them in a really good spot heading into Christmas. And I think we've all treated Christmas as kind of the biggest test for the Celtics this year. Bucks are no joke. That was effectively, I would say, the Eastern Conference Championship last year. No disrespect to the Heat. They're a phenomenal team. Celtics should have
all
beat
the
them in less than
disrespect
7.
to those rats.
I know. But the Bucks series, I think, was really when they tested it. But yeah.
You want to talk about testing? Test your luck. Smash the odds. Pick of the night is in. They are now 15-6 on our show after losing yesterday. What are you going to do? It happens every once in a while. Celtics have lost 2 in a row, right? Smash the odds can say they're better than the Celtics. Pick of the night presented by Smash the Odds at Smash Odds on Twitter. You can follow them for free picks daily, and you can subscribe to the premium service for the premium picks. Make yourself a winner. Make yourself some money. Lonnie Walker, the 4th, over 15.5 points, rebounds, and assists tonight. I'm going to be a real cocky prick. My pick, Celtics, alt line, -8.5. Make yourself some money.
Wow. You're that confident heading into the game.
I'm not, but I'm going to be a real prick. I'm going to be a prick.
Let me go, take a look. My picks. I usually go with you know what? I'm going to stop betting on Derek White because maybe I'm the one cursing him. So no more Derek White bets for me. We're going to find a new niche for me to pick on. Let's take a look here. Rebounds, nothing I'm liking. Maybe that's not true. Jaylen Brown over 7.5 rebounds is +105 right now. I don't hate that at all. I think Jaylen Brown rebounds could be a good bet with Al Horford out. He's done a good job at crashing the glass. 3-point shots. You look here. Derek White's plus money. Grant Williams plus money. I'm going to stay away from those just because, again, I don't want to be the curse. So there is that. But as far as 3-pointers go, I'm not necessarily seeing anything else that I like too much. Jaylen Brown over 2.5 could be a solid bet, but I'm going to go Jaylen Brown rebounds as my bet of the night. So over 7.5 would be my go-to. What's yours tonight? What'd you say? Alt line?
Alt line, -8.5. Sam is a rat today.
A rat. What's the odds on that? What's your odds on that? Alt line.
170, +170.
Okay. Not bad. Let's see. John saying last time we lost 2 in a row, we won 9 in a row after. This is the optimism I like, John. I love that from you. I love that. Jimmy J
optimism
saying,
in the chat, even from Jimmy J.
Jimmy J is optimist. You love to see it. I have a feeling Blake getting a 15-point double-double. We'll know who to come to if he does do that. But yeah, thank you guys. I mean, we're not wrapping up here. I do want to say though, I think hesitantly, like I said, we will be around for a live stream on Thursday night. If you guys are around and want to chat with us, off night for the Celtics, 2 nights in a row. We will be recording our podcast. We're figuring things out, but I think the plan right now is to do our first How About Them Celtics live stream on Thursday night for you guys. So it'll effectively be a live podcast. They won't all be in the How About Them Celtics podcast feed, but just a chance for us to, get questions from you, interact with the community. We want to build a Celtics community. That's effectively the goal. So we want to take these pregame shows and move them to a semi-weekly. I think we're going to aim for twice a week, but sometimes once a week live stream show for you guys to talk with us and us to just talk about the Celtics. So make sure to pay attention, have your notifications on the How About Them Celtics YouTube channel because we'll be scheduling it probably for some time on Thursday night. That'll be the goal at the very least. But like I said, if you're watching on God Boston Sports, jump on over to the How About Them Celtics YouTube channel. That's where these pregame shows will be, and you get all the podcasts, all the videos, all the shorts that you want to see, all your Celtics content. But anything you want to say before we get out of here and get ready for the game, Sam?
Hey, if there's better times for you guys that maybe you want, I don't know, different time, let us know and we'll see what we can do. Can't guarantee it because I work a day job, but we'll see. We'll see.
Let us know when you want the streams. The streams are for y'all, so let
I
us
did
know
have a
when you want
complaint.
them.
We'll have to save it. Maybe I'll
Oh
tease
yes,
it Thursday.
maybe we'll do the complaints. And these live streams can be more than just Celtics too. We can complain. We can shoot the shit, as they say. We can just chat. It'll be a good time. So thank you, Shane. Appreciate you. As Lupe says, let's go Celtics. Big game against the Lakers. Check us both out on Twitter. Those are below our faces, at Jack Simone NBA and at Sam LaFrance NBA. Check us out on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Still need to add the logo. How about them C's? And then how about them Celtics podcast on Facebook? This has been Playing in the City jersey night. Yes, they are. Everyone's hyped. Celtics pregame show. We are here, like I said, 30 minutes before every single Celtics game, and we'll be live streaming more often now. So make sure to tune on in. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.